It was at this point that the soundtrack changed. The drummer ducked down behind his drums. One of the guitarists had run off stage. It was the start of a massacre. The deadliest of the attacks. The Eagles of death metal band had been playing at the Bataclan Theatre. Terrorist gunfire forced the police back. They regrouped, but it just carried on. In a side street beyond the black car, it continued. People tried to escape. They held onto window ledges and streamed out of the building. The only British fatality to have been named so far is Nick Alexander, who was selling merchandise at the gig. On Twitter, his girlfriend wrote, "You are and always will be the love of my life, Nick Alexander." His family said the 36-year-old died doing the job he loved.
What I heard is that he died saving the life of another human being. And that's, I think, the act that all of us wonder if we'd be brave enough to do. It's tragic, but it's also awe-inspiring. And you know, I don't think anyone knows if they'd be strong enough to do that until it happens.
Among the other victims are 26-year-old Valentin Ribet, described as a talented lawyer who studied in Britain. Nohemi Gonzalez was a 23-year-old design student from California who was studying in France. And George Salines tweeted a number of appeals for his daughter Lola. He later said she was among the victims. As investigations get underway, questions are being asked about what the security services knew about these attacks. The Islamic State militant group has claimed responsibility. One of the attackers has been identified as 29-year-old Ismail Omar Mostafi. And now more information is slowly emerging about the other attackers who blew themselves up with identical suicide belts.
At this stage, a terrorist who was the initiator of the attack and hostage situation at the Bataclan venue was formally identified after his fingerprints were recovered. He has never been in prison and was the subject of a security file in 2010 for radicalisation, but had never been implicated and charged for terrorist offences before this event.
In Brussels, 3 people were arrested during police raids. At least one is believed to have been in Paris at the time of the attacks.
Donc nous sommes en guerre. Et parce que nous sommes en guerre,
we are at war. And because we are at war, we will take exceptional measures and we will take action and we will strike. We will strike this enemy to destroy them, of course in France and in Europe, to pursue those who have committed this act.
Last night, armed police swooped on a hotel near the Eiffel Tower. It was a false alarm, but this is a city where people just don't know what might come next.
I don't feel like all of this is real. I would never have thought that this could happen in my neighbourhood, next to my home. And really, I feel like I'm realising this can happen everywhere, and that there is no safe place.
In the face of all this, they stand as one.
I'm thinking about all of the victims, about those who lost someone, a loved one last night. We're all here tonight with them, the entire world. They have to stay strong. We're not abandoning them. We're going to survive this. We're going to make it. I know deep inside that we will survive.
3 days of national mourning are underway across France. In Paris, the candlelit shrines mark scene after scene of mass murder. This was the worst violence in France since World War II. With so many innocent young victims, French people are coming to terms with the fact that they are now, again, at war. Tom Parmenter, Sky News, Paris.